So I got home from work. I'm sitting here eating my sandwich that I made, and I saw this, and I'm like, you think? Except what I was saying was that this was done for the viewers, to get, so basically the 60th anniversary had David Tennant, Catherine Tate. Basically, they were pulling a, hey guys, you remember David Tennant as a doctor? Well, he's back. And Catherine Tate, is Donna, one of the most memorable companions of New Who. You guys remember them? Iconic. Please watch our show. And then the anniversary special didn't do great numbers at all. While David Tennant, back in the day, before streaming services, he was able to rake in like 8 to 11 million views every episode. Nowadays, they're sitting at like 2-3 million. So now they're pulling this crap again. Hey guys, you remember Billie Piper, right? You remember Billie Piper? She played Rose, first companion of New Who, Rose Tyler. You remember her? Well, Billie Piper's back. Please watch her show. But here, Doctor Who insider claims Billie Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers. Reveal was a desperate plan by Russell T Davies to get Disney to continue the show. Either way, it's member berries. Like, you guys remember her? Yeah, we do. We remember her as Rose Tyler, or Bad Wolf, or whatever you want to fucking call her. But that's all they're doing now. They're doing it for that hit of nostalgia, saying, hey guys, remember these companions? Remember this? Please watch our show. Doctor Who insider revealed that Russell T Davies had no plan involving Billie Piper, and the tacked-on regeneration scene at the end of Reality War was a desperate attempt to try to get Disney to fund another season, which they said, Disney said they would fund it if, depending on how season 2 looked. Like 2-3 million views per episode. Again, this is with streaming services. David Tennant was pulling in 8 to 10, 11 million by himself before streaming services. So they think that pulling out a familiar face, like Billie Piper, is going to be like, oh my God, I need to watch Doctor Who. Please renew. Please renew. We want to see, is Billie Piper going to be, is Rose the doctor now? Is going to be Dr. Rose? You want to know who they should have? Dr. House. I would love to see Hugh Laurie as the doctor. Keep him as like House, very sarcastic, almost like I don't like Peter Capaldi's, very sarcastic and snarky, but he is very, genuine, and he is very compassionate. He's just a grumpy old dude. But I would love to see Hugh Laurie as the doctor. I think he would be perfect. Doctor Who has been in big trouble since the Kudigatwa season 1 aired. There's some of the lowest ratings in the show's history. Season 2 continued trends where it broke records for low viewership, but the show's still popular, remember? David Tennant raking in 8 to 11 million views for his episodes. These are like 2 million, 3 million. But sure, the show's still popular. 20 years later? 20 years later, and you have like 3-4 times less than what we have back in 2005. But yeah, the show is still popular, right? Adam, can I help you? Come here. The internet, season 2 continued to trend. At that point, even the media began to change its soon as to the health of the show. As increasingly Russell T Davies inserted his lash outs at fans into scripts of the show. The internet went crazy over the weekend after it revealed that Kudigatwa had regenerated into Billie Piper, implying that she will be the 16th Doctor, in a double down on a female-led lead for the show, where the first collapse in Jodie Whittaker. I mean, I gave Jodie Whittaker a chance, but all she was like, every time she did that and did a scrunchy face, they had her pulling out her Sonic for everything, which the Doctor's supposed to be smart enough to pretty much figure things out without having to whip out a Sonic every 2 seconds. But no, literally everything she did, she had to fucking whip her Sonic out. Um, Doctor Who expert Star Whovian posted on Twitter a scoop that shows Russell T Davies had no plans going forward, and this was a last-minute attempt with Billie Piper to get Disney's attention. He posted the BBC. Oh, let's just read this. The BBC was worried that they were how they're going to continue with Doctor Who. Billie Piper filmed her scene only a few weeks ago as a favor to RTD, who wanted a regeneration cliffhanger as a last-ditch attempt to convince Disney to extend their partnership. I mean, would anyone be surprised? It's also one of those, hey guys, Billie Piper, it's going to get people talking. Please watch our show. Insider source has given Fandom Pulse more information on the state of the show, which shows how desperately this really is. The Doctor Who insider who broke about the story about Jodie Whittaker returning to the show to Fandom Pulse earlier in May has proven to be accurate so far. Hollywood wouldn't be surprised if it was the same person who said David Tennant was returning, because that turned out to be true too. So it looks like we are approaching the end of Doctor Who, at least for a long while. Oh well. We've got old Doctor Who, we've got new Who up until Peter Capaldi. So who cares? Who cares? We have the audio dramas, we have the comics. So who really cares at this point if we don't have the TV show? The fans from all corners are universally against the current direction of the show. The BBC is scrambling behind the scenes about what they're going to do going forward, and the people in charge seemingly have no idea what they're doing. An announcement from the BBC could drop at any moment now, but it's clear that Doctor Who has never been in this bad of a state in its 60 years history. In addition, we were told the decision to include Billie Piper was a very last-minute decision. Around the time that the Robot Revolution was airing, they were still planning to go with the cliffhanger regeneration, where we would see Ncuti regenerate, and where we wouldn't see who he regenerated into. It seems more like stunt casting to round off RTD2 and kind of a wrap up to New Who era by bringing it full circle. Billie wasn't even on set. She filmed everything with an incredibly small crew in front of a green screen in London a few weeks ago, and they just pasted her face on Ncuti's body at the last minute. Get a room, you two. Look at that shit. It's thought that Russell casting Billie was a way to increase audience interest. Yeah. Like casting Tennant as 14, and hopefully they make the show more appealing to Disney. BBC is a bit concerned currently about how they're going to continue the show themselves. Lots of scrambling going on. The show leaks continue. Billie saw it more of a favor to Russell than anything. She's happy to do a special or series, but it's also fine to just film a quick something in an attempt to help the show out, which, as opposed to the first Doctor of New Who, Christopher Eccleston, he's like, yeah, you get rid of these people, Russell T Davies being one of them. You get rid of these people, I'll come back and be the Doctor. But he's like, you fire this person, fire this person, fire this person, I'll come back as a Doctor. Which I would love to see Christopher Eccleston come back as a Doctor. He got far too short time being the Doctor, and he was a great Doctor. So I really wish to see, an anniversary special or whatever. I would love to see Christopher Eccleston again as the Doctor. His time was just too short. Just really, really was. Russell went straight in for Billie. She didn't have to audition or anything. All happened very quickly. I don't even think Russell knows why she has Rose's face yet. We were told most of season 3, which RTD has already written, was done with Ncuti in mind, so don't expect the next Doctor, if there is one, to be too different. There was a few alternate takes of Billie's first lines. So, I think, what was it like? Oh, hello. There were a few, everything in the unit after the Belinda Doctor and Ruby scene. which was also heavily reworked in reshoots, was reshoots as well as the garden and Belinda's house scene and the stuff with 13, obviously. Yeah, what was the point of having fucking Jodie Whittaker there? You know, they concluded they're not going to admit that Ncuti leaving after season 2 wasn't always the plan, because that would mean admitting that season 3 was delayed because season 2 or season 1 didn't do as well as initially hoped. Which Russell will never do. Of course not. Of course not. They'll blame the fans. They'll blame everything else except for taking responsibility for their own failures. So, I mean, par of the course for modern day. Instead of accepting the fact that maybe your writing is shit now and no one likes it, nope, just blame the fans. Just blame the fans. But this is what they're doing. They brought back David Tennant and Catherine Tate. Like, hey guys, you remember them, right? Please watch our show. They're bringing back Jodie. They brought back Susan, the doctor's granddaughter. Please watch our show. They didn't even do anything with her, which is complete fucking waste. You're going to bring back Susan, who is the doctor's granddaughter, and you're not going to fucking do anything with her. Are you fucking stupid, Russell T Davies? And now we have Billie Piper. You guys remember Billie Piper? Please watch our show. This is nothing more than a fucking lame attempt to get us to watch the show, which it's not working. Again, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, they were bringing in numbers. These new ones with, starting with Jodie Whittaker up till now, 2-3 million per episode. The first episodes are always the most because people are like, oh, it's the start of a new season, want to check it out. So the first episodes, and sometimes the finales, but at this point, most people are just checking out before the finale. But every other episode in between, it's just like 2-3 million viewers. And this is in the era of streaming services. So don't sit here and try to say that 2-3 million views with more fans is somehow, making the show that's so popular when David Tennant was pulling in 8 to 11 million. No streaming service, no nothing. And that was back in 2005. So, which means there are significant less fans than there are now, than there was in 2005. Because if you're only able to pull in 2-3 million views per episode while he was doing 8 to 11, clearly there's not as many fans as they think there is. And if there are, they've completely tuned out because people are tired of the bullcrap. People are tired of watching a show about an alien who flies through time and space in a fucking police box and sitting there being lectured to. They're tired. We get enough of that shit from, politicians and the media. We don't need it in a science fiction show about a goddamn alien who flies around through time and space in a goddamn police box. So you want that preachy bullshit? Put it somewhere else. And if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna have messages about racism and stuff, make it subtle. Russell, like you used to do when you were a good fucking writer, able to make subtle messages about racism or climate change or whatever the case was, but you made it a good story and you made it fun for people who don't think the same way you do. Now it's just fuck those people, message in your face, and it's only for the people who already think the same way as you do. You have actors coming out like, oh, why don't you go touch grass? Okay. Then you have people going outside, taking pictures of themselves touching grass, and then sending it to the doctor on his Instagram. You really think that people are going to be like, oh, well, it's better than nothing. No, people are tired of that whole, oh, it's better than nothing. We'd rather just have no Doctor Who then. We've got all of old Doctor Who. We've all got all of New Who up till Peter Capaldi. We've got the audio dramas. We've got the comics. We don't need new episodes. We have more than enough Doctor Who content to last us for another 15 fucking years. So, this whole, just be happy with what you have, or it's better than nothing, and shove it. Fucking shove it. But anyway, yeah, we know it's just a desperate attempt, whether it be for viewers or for them to pick up on season 3, because they said, it's like, oh, it depends on season 2. Season 2 didn't do well. As we said, We said it was going to fail. Once again, we were right. But no, we're still the phobes and isms. Anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.